Welcome to Gold Silver Pros.
Hey guys, Rob Keens with Gold Silver Pros at www.goldsilverpros.com. Today's video, I really just wanted to focus on silver, and I wanted to talk about my disappointment and frustration with silver and the silver market and explain why I'm frustrated, but then also in the video as well talk about why I think silver is still a great market. And I do think it is, a great market. I love silver. Right here I have an 1892 silver Morgan, which used to be money in the United States. It's a really nice coin. And these are the types of things that I like to collect. This is part of my own collection. And, I love silver coins. I love older coins. I love the newer stuff. I love the bullion. But really what I've been noticing in the market is people just right now are just not, buying a lot of silver. And I think it's because of the price. So if we look at the price of silver, essentially we're, I think as I'm recording the video, about 23.5 bucks, give or take. And the silver seems like it always just trades sideways. Now, that's not completely true because in 1980, it got to about 50 bucks. 2011, it got really close to 50 bucks, 49.50, depending on which chart you're looking at. And so silver at times has done, really, really well. Silver's always been a pretty good investment, but not as consistent and steady as gold. For example, gold tends to move up in slower, more pronounced moves on the market, whereas silver tends to sort of violently trade around. And if you guys watch my videos on Tuesday, the weekly market wraps, I go over the paper trading and how that all works. Essentially, the derivative traders get on there and they trade silver for the next 2 to 3 months. That's really, for the most part, all that market focuses on is 2 to 3 months. What do they think the price of silver is going to be? And not necessarily, hey, we may have some looming supply shortages with the mines. Silver's priced cheaper than the cost to mine from primary silver miners. Really, the market traders are not looking at that. What they're really focusing on is, where's silver going to go in the next month to 2 months to 3 months? How do I scalp it by putting a contract out there and trying to get 10 cents or 5 cents a contract to make some money? And that is what determines the market price. And when you're market pricing that way, and it has more to do with paper bets, then essentially it has to do with the physical silver, you tend to get a discrepancy in the price between what you think it should be as an investor. And investors know the industrial shortages we've had the last 4 years from the mines amount to almost 1 billion ounces if we follow the Silver Institute's data. And we know that the price should be higher. We know the price needs to be higher for a lot of these silver mines in Mexico and Peru and around the world to start opening up and putting out more silver. But that hasn't happened, and the prices have been kept down for quite some time. By the way, this is a Geiger bar, and these are actually very, very beautiful. They're 20 grams, and they're kind of hard to get here in the States. You can get them, but when they first come out, they're hard to get, and sometimes they take a while to get a hold of. But I really do love this design. It's so gorgeous. Anyway, getting back to the silver market, it can be a tad frustrating to investors. And it's frustrating to me too, because you're looking at gold and it's near almost an all-time high. It's bouncing around 2050, 2060. It hit a new all-time high a few weeks ago on open on Sunday of about 2160-ish is what I saw. It was up about 60 bucks. And then over the next day and a half, it got slammed down over $100. I think it was like 135. And so essentially that market just kind of died for all intents and purposes, or the gold kind of died off a little bit, but then it's come back, and now it's in the mid-2050s again. And gold seems to have reached a new bottom. Like, I don't know if it's going to go under 2,000 for any length of time. Of course, it could. But given, what's going on in the world, we've got all sorts of economic problems with the debt and geopolitical uncertainty and an election. You would think that it's going to keep gold price up this year. And if we have any more bank failures, you would expect that gold price would continue to rise as well. And I think that it will. But silver just sort of flounders there. And it's like, why? If you look at the second thing that frustrates me is, if you look at the gold to silver ratio, it's really high. Gold is priced really high compared to silver, more than, for example, you would expect to come out of the mines, which would expect like maybe a 12 to 15 to 1 ratio, depending on the data you're looking at. So that would mean silver would have to trade up much, much higher than it is. Like if it's a 15-to-1 ratio, I mean, silver's sitting there trading over $100 an ounce. And right now it's languishing about 23.50. So, and by the way, look at this gorgeous Proof Eagle coin from 2003. That is just gorgeous. And what they do on the proofs is they sandblast the tops and the sun and the rays and the letters to get those a little bit matte finish. And then the rest, they just kind of smooth out. It's really, really cool. A gorgeous proof coin there from the mint. Love that one. Completely love that one. That's gorgeous. So anyway, you know, the silver ratio, gold silver ratio is out of whack. And so what's been happening lately is people are coming into the store. Look at this beautiful wedge-tailed eagle from Australia. That is just such a gorgeous coin. I loved the proof slab coins just because they're so beautiful. Love the regular bullion too, but this kind of stuff is just gorgeous design. A reverse proof on that one, where you have the matting in the background and then the forward, the bird, is the silver. It's a really gorgeous coin. I really love that one. In any case, yeah, that ratio is out of whack, and silver investors are coming into the store and they're deciding, hey man, I want to trade my silver for gold. And if you're, well, I understand the sentiment because silver hasn't been moving. There's a lot of frustration with the silver market. And so, yeah, that kind of makes sense. You may want to get rid of silver if you don't think it's going to move and go into what's hotter of the two metals, and it's gold. And a lot of people want to stay in metals, but they're rebalancing. They're reshaping their portfolios. Beautiful 1961, Proof 68 cameo quarter. Just an absolute gorgeous coin there as well. Silver. So in any case, they're rebalancing. Now, if I were just looking at this from a financial perspective, I probably would sell some gold and buy some silver because that ratio is so out of whack. And a lot of people have been doing that for, you know, almost 15 years. And the only problem with that is that silver hasn't moved. And I completely understand it, and that's frustrating me. And I think the other part of what's frustrating me with silver is we're not able to use it as money. Silver is not money in the United States right now. Citizens for Sound Money, a group that I'm involved with, is basically trying to get gold and silver also as money again in the States. We're working in Florida, in New Hampshire. We'll be working in Texas next year, I believe South Carolina. And there are other groups like ours that are also working in some other states. And we're making progress. We've got bills in Florida and all this kind of stuff. But it's not money. And in fact, in a lot of states, silver is taxed, sales tax. Some of the time it's never taxed, like in Texas. Some of the time after you go past $1,000 or $2,000, it just depends on the state law, but they begin taxing it. So it limits, how much you can get before you have to pay sales tax. And that frustrates me because a lot of the states aren't recognizing that gold and silver have been money for thousands of years. And really you're just exchanging paper money for real money or natural money, and it shouldn't be taxed. But more and more states are removing that sales tax, and more states are considering right now bills to get gold and silver as money again. Look at this beautiful 1995 American Eagle. It was left out of a holder or a tube, and so it's got that beautiful toning. On the back is pretty good toning, nice luster to this coin. But on the front is this gorgeous sort of brownish toning. And by the way, collectors love toning on coins, especially American coins, and those you can get more for. So if you have old coins, quick tip, don't clean your old silver. Do not clean your old silver. If you have questions, shoot me at info@goldsilverpros.com, a picture of your silver, or come into the store and I'll tell you whether that toning is something that investors generally will like. A lot of times it increases the value. Now, especially in these old slabbed coins, something like this, which I'll show you in a minute, these old Morgans, toning can significantly increase the value. But even on new coins, like this Eagle, when you get this beautiful toning on here, especially if you're getting rainbow tone with different colors, that actually increases the value. So don't clean your silver just yet. Reach out to me with some pictures or discuss it, and I'll kind of tell you what I've learned about that toning market since I've opened a store. But getting back to it, we need silver to be money again. And I think that it will be. I think that the move to get gold as money again is going to be followed by silver in the States. I think there is a lot of action to do that right now. There's a lot of appetite for that, as they say, in different state congresses and governorships. Not only in conservative states, we're having a lot of Democrats as well. So we think that we'll get it there again, but it's not right now. And it's a bit frustrating because I think if it was used as money, there would obviously be more demand. Of course, that does compete with the banking system, and a lot of the banks really may not, want us to use gold and silver as money again, whether it be the commercial banks or, any of those type of banks, because they make money on transactions. Now they could go into the gold and silver trade, but I think they prefer the money trade because of all the different markets that are on top of the dollar. And the world's used to using the dollar, so there's going to be some natural resistance to that, which does make sense. By the way, this is a 1947 D, half dollar. This is 90% silver. So normally silver, retail, if you're buying what they call constitutional or junk silver, you're paying 19 to 20 times face right now, something in that range. So for a half dollar, you're paying $8 to $9.50 to $10 melt value. But this is a choice AU, which means almost uncirculated. It's a gorgeous coin, almost no damage. And so that makes that coin basically worth $65. So if you have old coins and they're in really good shape, put them in these holders and then have somebody take a look at them for you at a coin show or a coin shop and give you their opinion what they think you're worth, and get 2 to 3 opinions. Because if you've been collecting this old junk silver and you have really nice ones that have that luster and that shine, and you can see all the details and the letter and the date is clear, and for example, you go over here to the eagle's feathers and you can see them very clearly and you can see all of that, you may have a good coin, a good graded coin, a fine graded coin, an extra fine, an almost uncirculated, or a brilliant uncirculated. Any of those are really good deals. If you've got those old coins. So, and don't clean them. And if they're old in really good shape, have them looked at by a professional. So those are my frustrations with silver, but I want to talk about what I think could be potentially really beneficial for those that are investing in silver. By the way, this is put out by the Mint. It's a re-stamp or remake of the old Morgan dollar here and the old Peace dollar here. They're 2023s, and they're basically newly minted proof, sort of commemorative type of items. You can see the beautiful proofing here, the smoothness, and then the map behind it. And the same thing on the back side with the eagle. Just a beautiful recreation of a Peace dollar there, and then also have a beautiful recreation of a Morgan. These are gorgeous. I think some of the positive are that if you're very patient and you're not a day trader and you can stick with your silver for a while, as long as you don't feel like you need to get more gold to rebalance that portfolio, as long as you think that you already have some gold, and then simply, adding some, and you want to get into silver, I highly recommend getting into it, because given the fact that that gold to silver ratio is so out of whack with how we actually pull it out of the ground, and if you add in the fact that silver is actually more scarce now because it gets used up, whereas most gold is stored, that silver at some point could maybe not come on parity with gold, but get really close to it. And so that gold to silver ratio could completely reverse. Now, is that going to happen this year? Probably not, to be honest with you, but it's entirely possible. And so silver could be, or should be, actually is, much more undervalued when compared with gold. Now, this is a beautiful 1890 silver Morgan. It's graded as a mint state 65. You can see the word Liberty here. You can see all of the details. It's got some toning starting on the outside rim, which is really beautiful, which adds value to it. The back is just in completely beautiful shape. Nice little collectible on the market. Collectible market's hot right now, by the way, so if you're interested in collectibles. A modern day collectible would be like this Legends of Life. This is a 2021 Silver American Eagle, but it's signed by David Robinson. It's actually a football player. It's not the basketball player. And so that adds a little bit of value. It's also a perfect mint state 70 coin. Never been circulated. Gorgeous coin. I like collecting those as well. That's a lot of fun. We'll throw that on the pile. But essentially, whatever form you buy silver, if you're just buying the really cheaper bars and rounds, to get to minimize the amount of premium that you're paying to the cost of the silver ounce, and then maybe you add a few eagles or add some maples or whatever it is into your collection if you're just starting. That's the way I started. I always think that that's a good strategy. Of course, you need to make your own decisions there and decide what you want to do. Don't take my recommendation, but I think that's a good way to get into it. And then later on, if you want to get into modern collectibles, what I call semi-numismatics, or even these old ones, the old collectibles, definitely you can do that. There's definitely, some money to be made there if you're looking from a trading perspective, or just value creation through older coins that increase in value over time. That's certainly a good way to do it. For example, this is an 1883 O. An O means it was done at the New Orleans Mint, graded Morgan. It's graded Mint State 63 by PCGS, which is most people think is the most respected grading. There's also NGC and Anax and a couple other smaller ones. This is 𝘎𝙁𝑘𝙊𝙇𝙄𝙉 because it has tone. If you look on the back, this isn't damage to the coin, it's toning. It's got like a polka dot toning on the back. A little bit here, if you can see, some green and blue on the edges, and then a lot of a different color brown and gray here in the middle. And then on the front, it's gorgeous. It's got rainbow toning. As I move this around, can you see that green and that blue on the edges and then that brown in the middle? This coin normally, if it was a mint state 63 coins, about $100, $150 coin. But adding in that toning adds a couple $100 of value. So when I say don't clean your coins, this is one of the reasons why. That's hot right now. It's very hot to have toned coins, and collectors like them. But, you know, there are all sorts of ways to get into silver, and if you want to rebalance your portfolio, maybe put a little bit more silver in there, you can exchange gold for it, or you can just use, you know, any free money that you get to go ahead and collect new silver. You know, you can buy items like this if you want to go longer term investment, a little bit of speculative investment, or you can just get, you know, the bullion like one of these bars. You know, this very beautiful PAMP bar is just absolutely gorgeous on both sides. LBMA, good delivery, refiner, 4.9s, purist, Swiss excellence, made in India. Beautiful coin. You can get those. You can get the junk silver. You can get coins like these Aztec designs, which I have in the store now. You know, you can get those. I have two different Aztec designs. Those are a little bit cheaper because they're rounds, made by local mint, gorgeous. Or you can go higher end like this. If you've been collecting a while and you decide you want to get into this, you know, I'd recommend buying the bullion first. But again, you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. But sometimes getting these can be very good. So I bought this coin sometime back for quite a bit less than what it's worth now. But because it's a mint state 66, it's a 50-cent piece. So if silver is trading, say, 20 times face, this is a $10 coin. If it's not in this condition, just melt value plus a little bit of market. This 1940 S is a specific mint. It's in almost perfect condition. It's very hard to get a mint state 66. And it's also got toning. If you know, there's some brown around the rim. So this is over $1,000 coin. The value is 100 times higher than just the silver content market price. So this is really maybe a way for you to leverage, you know, some speculation on top of silver. Other ways to do it, like mining stocks or the ETFs, those types of things. But I kind of like the coins because they're physical. Now this is a 1962 mint state grade is 64 Benjamin Franklin $half. This coin's not quite $1,000. It's a little bit newer, but it's a lot more than melt. It's probably $30, $40 coin if I go look it up. Price fluctuates, but look how beautiful that is, and it's got beautiful tone. Look at that brown toning, and on the edges you can just see a hint of blue, just a little bit of hint of blue. And on the back it's pretty clear, just some toning here. But if I just hit it right with the light, you can see some blue, a little bit of purple in there. It's really gorgeous. So I think silver is going to do well because that gold-silver ratio. I think the mining, there's not enough mining to produce what we need. This is a half dime. This half dime is an 1871 P minted. It's worth about $150 because it's almost uncirculated. Almost has no damage or scuff marks. Has beautiful luster. Such a beautiful coin. Really nice. You know, I think that the miners not putting out as much as we're using in industry is going to cause silver price also to go up. And I don't know, one last thing that bugs me about silver is it's not used as money, but I don't know if it ever could be used as money again. Because if you think about how it's used in industry and almost every product, certainly technology products, medical products, military products, products you never even thought of, it's going to be very hard to have enough silver, even though it's more abundant than gold in the earth. You know, after industrial used to use it as money. So I'm not sure. I think, you know, silver is the poor man's gold from a monetary perspective. So if we return to silver as money again, certainly silver will be great. But I think it's going to be so valued and so expensive at some point that it's mostly going to be used for investment purposes, for savings purposes, and for industrial. I would love to see silver used as money again. I'm just not sure that we'll get there. Now this is a 1978 a flowing hair dollar, a beautiful dollar there. You can see that it's got very good detail. It's an extra fine coin, not quite uncirculated, but getting up there. And this coin's worth, because of its condition, the fact that it's a 1798, this is about a $2,700 coin, even though, you know, as a dollar, just in silver content, it's probably worth 20 times face, $20. So just silver content, $20. but multiply that up to about $2,800 because of the fact that it's such good shape and it's old. You know, it's really where collectibles can come into play if you're interested. Now, maybe a little bit too expensive for some people, which I understand, but look how beautiful that coin is. In any case, great little coin there. We had that come into the coin shop about a week ago. Love that one. But in any case, I think silver is going to do well in the future. Don't be too discouraged if silver hasn't done what you want it to do just right now. It's used industrially. Eventually, it's going to run out. We may have a situation where the price goes vertical like nickel did on the LME. I don't know if they'll allow it to do that before they tamp it down, as Rostam Benham said a couple of years ago at the Boca V conference. You know, whether they'll put a price limit on it like they do the stock market, you know, to the downside to keep things from cratering. If silver gets too high, it could crater the market too expensive because it's a commodity, unlike a stock. So you want to, if you really want to regulate that market, you keep a cap on the top end price as much as you can. But I think, you know, the market's going to break through that just because if it becomes so scarce that you can't get it, then that paper market scheme has to break, and people have to be able to pay what it's worth to get it out of the ground, to get it out of people's hands, to get enough silver in the market. So I do think at one point silver is going to shoot directly up. The good news is I think it'll move up higher as a percentage than gold will. By the way, this is an 1877 trade dollar. Trade dollars are only made for a few years. That is 420 grains of 900 fine silver, as you can see there. Beautiful coin. This coin's worth quite a bit of money. I'm going to have it appraised. But that is an absolute just gorgeous coin that came into the shop the other day. We absolutely love it and make it a part of our collection. And again, this is going to be worth more than the spot price of silver by quite a bit. So, you know, that's my thoughts on silver. I do think it's going to do well. I am frustrated, maybe a bit annoyed, you know, for all those reasons I talked about. But at the end of the day, I still love silver, always do love silver. I think for money, gold's probably going to be king, whereas this could be a queen or a prince. But I think silver ultimately will end up being as important or more important than gold overall when you consider the fact that it can be used as money and that it is in shortage industrially, and at some point in time this is going to become very, very, very expensive. You just have to be able to sit in there and wait until it actually happens. And there's a saying that markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So if it hasn't happened yet, don't worry too much about it. Now, I want to talk about sales we have for this week. So we are I have 90 of these Canadian Maple Leafs. I actually have the 2010 and 12s, not the 2022s. This is a 2022. But 2010 and 2012s, there's 90 total. Maple Leafs I'm selling at 27 even. That's cheaper than any online shop that I could find. Hopefully cheaper than most, because I think it's a really good deal. So if you're interested, go to www.goldsilverpros.com, click on discount page, and click on the link to access the deal. You'll fill out a quick little form that'll take you 20 seconds. Leaves your contact info. I'll call you. We'll agree. We'll send you an invoice. We'll get it paid, and I'll get it shipped out to you. Do this all the time for guys with gold and silver. We're doing that for Maple Leafs 2010s and 2012s. I have 90 at $27. It's about $3 cheaper than I have them regularly. So those are on sale. The second sale item we have are these dice. These are made by a friend of mine. I'm the only one that I know in America that has them. I know other people have attempted dice, but these are the nicest ones, and these are in very short supply. Normally $76. We're going to put them on sale for $70. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're anatomically perfect. Made by master metal worker is a friend of mine. Gorgeous, 1.5 ounce each. $70 on sale. We're also going to put the silver revolvers on sale again. Now, it's been a couple months since I put them on sale. I've got about 10 of these at this price. We're taking $50 off for $400. These are 6 ounces of silver. Each bullet is removable. Each bullet has a 1/2 ounce of silver, as you can see on there. See if I can get it to focus. And then the cylinder's 3. So you got 3 ounces in the bullets and 3 in the cylinder. And look at this action where it just slides right in there. It's literally perfectly done. All the bullets come out and they go back in. $400, $50 off. Very limited time, only doing 10 of these. They're limited because they're custom design. I'm the only one in America I know that carries this quality of the silver cylinder with the removable bullets. And lastly, for sale, we have 4 gold bars. I've got 2 Valcambi Suisse. This just came into the shop. I'm selling these at $2,100 each. That's about $45 over spot. Pretty good deal there. If you buy more than one, I do free shipping. And to you, and I also have 2 Perth mints. I got 4 gold bars, $2,100 each. That's on sale this week. That's a pretty good deal. And then, of course, I got these cylinders, $50 off at $400. The Dice, $6 off at 70. And lastly, the Maple Leafs, the 2010, 2012, 90 of those only for $27 each. So if you're interested, go to www.goldsilverpros.com. Click on discounts, click on access to deal link, fill out the information. Whole process takes 20 seconds. You're in, you get it in there. I'll email you, invoice you, and we'll get it done. All right, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Stay strong on silver. We're all disappointed and frustrated at times, but I think silver's day is yet to come. Every dog has his day, as they say, and I think silver's day is coming. Don't lose sight of that. Don't trade away all your silver. Keep a little. That's my recommendation. Do your own research, of course, but consider, not getting out of all your silver. And I think you'll find, pretty shortly, with a reasonable time frame, that you're going to be very, very happy with what's going to go on with the silver market. Okay, until next time, guys, this is Rob Kientz, GoldSilverPros.com.